to a third world country, the home of the longest continuous burning tire fire in the world, Silver Springs, Nevada. It's Aaron. Hey, Aaron.
What's up?
Hey, you know, we got the Sumatra mandolin swirling around here this morning. I got echoes going on in my phone, too. What the heck is going on?
No, you just cured it.
You just cured it, whatever it is.
Okay, I moved it away from the computer. Maybe that's what the problem is.
Yes, that's it.
Hey, we got gorgeous sunshine out here this morning. It's going to be another great day. But let's talk a little baseball for just a minute here. Utley came in. He came in hard. And you know what? I've looked at the play probably as many times as the umpires, baseball, and everybody. And I'm still baffled at how that's a bad play. The guy went in hard. Maybe he was up a little too high, but he was touching the base. What I think is bad about that call, the whole thing, was they reversed the out call. Dennis, you've been watching baseball a long time, and you know, coming across second base, you get that in the vicinity call. If you're in the area, his foot was what, a microcosm away from the bag, the tip of his foot? I mean, Utley was out. He was out. But here's the problem I have with what they did after the fact. They go in, they say Utley made a bad play and all this stuff. If that's the case, that whole inning has to get wiped out, because not only was Utley out at second base, so was the runner at first base, according to the call they make after the fact. And that, to me, is just insane. I don't think the guy should have got suspended. I think they just went a little overboard, and we got a bunch of candy asses, if you will, playing baseball right now, because when I played baseball, that was a solid play right there.
Well, just because a leg got broken doesn't mean he did it intentionally.
And that's why they're overreacting. I mean, he didn't come in feet first. He didn't come in spikes high.
No.
He rolled into the bag. He realized he was going to hit him, and he actually, if he was trying to be bad, he would have used his legs to protect himself, but he didn't. He came in sideways. The problem is the leg got broken, and that's why there's a big issue right now. And, Clayton Kershaw...
And you know what? The other thing everybody needs to understand is when you see something in real time, as they call it, you're looking at about 37 frames per second. And when they slow all these plays down in slow motion and they look at them from 85 different angles and whatnot, you're looking at about 1 frame per minute. So it's really baseball. I don't like the instant replay in baseball. It's a bang-bang thing. It's a judgment call. And you know what? We are all human beings. We all make mistakes at one time or another. St. Louis can attest to having some of the worst calls in baseball history made against them in the World Series. It cost them a World Series, as a matter of fact. So I just think they've gotten really overboard with some of this stuff, and there's a little too much sensitivity going on in baseball now.
I think it's going on in the whole ball. It's going on all over the politics, schools, transgender baseball. Everybody's getting a little too sensitive.
Well, they've done this so, and the reasoning behind it is we got to get it right. Well, okay, if you're going to get it right, then use the same framing that you have that you can see on any baseball game now for the strike zone for the umpire.
Yeah.
I mean, why should the ump be calling balls and strikes? Let the computer do it. Well, I'm not kidding you. They'd be more accurate.
There's a solid point right there to be made about the instant replay. If you're going to use a camera, let's use them. Well, if you're only going to use them over here and not over here, throw the things away. Get them out of here because they're a pain in the butt.
Well, and you have different umpires that have different strike zones, and we all know that. Some like to call them low.
The pitcher in the league knows it.
Absolutely. That computer would take that away.
That's what makes the game. That's what's so beautiful about the game. You go out and you play the game, and it's a human interaction thing there, and everybody has a different interpretation of stuff. It's kind of crazy. Hey, how about some legal beagle maneuvering going on here with Monsanto, of all people? They've been accused of false advertising, claiming that glyphosate, of course that's the active ingredient in Roundup, that it targets enzymes only found in plants and not humans or animals. I'm sorry, glyphosate is a metal cleaner. It doesn't have a brain to think, oh, I'm in the belly of a human being. Let me not activate myself.
Yep.
It does what it does. And there is no, it's like an herbicide or an insecticide. The insecticide doesn't know that it's killing a gypsy moth or a bee. No. It kills an insect. That's what the product does. But one of the things that's going on here, this very likely could be the long-awaited tipping point for millions of people that are tired of being poisoned by these big ag biotech greed, irreverence for human life companies, the environment. They don't care about that. And the bottom line is they have an utter disdain for our legal system, which is actually meant to protect the innocents. Here's what one of the attorneys said, representing people, the people against Monsanto. The defendant intentionally misleads consumers by misrepresenting and concealing the true and correct facts concerning glyphosate. Yeah. We are not trying to prove that Roundup is harmful or carcinogenic. We are merely pointing out that Monsanto is lying about the enzymes that Roundup targets. Roundup kills the weeds in your backyard and the weeds in your stomach. This is how Monsanto's attorney countered.
Well, that's amazing.
We believe, you're going to love this statement here. We believe glyphosate is safe for human health when used as labeled. That's what the attorney told the courts. And I'm sitting here thinking, now wait a minute. If I go into the court and I tell the judge, I believe, the judge is going to say, prove it. Why is it Monsanto having to prove and back up these statements they make in
because court? The judges are being paid. Hey, Aaron.
You think?
Yeah. Aaron, what about your horse?
You know what? I'm trying to find a home for my horses. My health, my back is so bad. I can't care for them. I can't take care of their feet. I can't get them the exercise they need. My finances have gotten a little tight. It's become a little more difficult to feed them. Mm-hmm. And I am looking. I'm looking for a good home for them. You know, my concern out here. There's a lot of people out here that want me to give them to them. And my experience out here, and what many people see out here in this area, is when these people that come want your animals for free, they end up taking them over to Fallon. And I think everybody knows what happens when an animal goes that route in Fallon, and my girls are not going that route, period. Okay. So I'm very, very, very careful who they're going to go to. I've been talking to a gal out in Palomino Valley. Her name is Karen Giovanni, I believe it is, and she's looking to see if she might be able to find somebody that can help me out with them. But they're 4 and 5 years old. They're not broke. They're pocket ponies, very small. They're about 14 hands. They would be great if you got kids or smaller people.
Okay.
I didn't realize how small these horses were until I got on them. They're an Icelandic Draft Mustang mix, and they're really very, very sweet animals. Yes.
All right, Aaron. Let's we need to get moving. How do we get a hold of you?
Hey, 775-230-9915. I would be remiss if I didn't say happy birthday to Sammy the Little Red Rocker Hagar and Paul Simon both today. www.Alliday LLC on that .com there on the internet, folks. Going to be a gorgeous day out there. Let's all have a great time. Let's all be safe.
All right, see you.
All right, it's Aaron from Silver Springs. If you're looking for a couple of ponies, he's got them for you. Let's go from Silver Springs to Wall Street. With an opening stock market report, we have Ken Roberts. Hey, Ken. What's up?
Well, the market's a little bit lower, but it's off the lows for the day so far.